Every year, heart disease silently takes the lives of millions around the world, and most of them are people over the age of 60. What's even more startling is this: many of those losses were entirely preventable, with just a few very small changes in daily habits. If your heart has ever raced after just a few steps up the stairs, or if you felt tired after a night of restless sleep, it might not be age catching up to you. These are subtle signals your heart is sending, gently calling you back to care for it with more tenderness. At this age, your body no longer processes fat, sugar, or even emotions as swiftly as it once did. A greasy meal, a sleepless night, or an unresolved anger. Each can leave a mark of fatigue on every beat of your heart. These little things, repeated over time, become a burden that quietly wears your heart down. Not because you're old, but because you've grown used to forgetting to care for it. If we keep telling ourselves, "That's just how aging is," then one day, the heart may stop, quietly and unexpectedly. Not because it didn't try, but because we never truly learned how to understand it. But here's the beautiful part: it's not too late. There are still 8 simple things you can change today to help your heart breathe easier, beat slower, and stay with you longer. The final one will surprise you, because it seems to have nothing to do with health at all, yet it's the most enduring medicine you could ever give yourself. If you've ever loved, or been loved, then today, begin learning how to love your own heart again. And if you're ready to listen, comment 1 to give your heart a voice, or 0 if you're still unsure where to begin. 1. Avoid trans fats. Don't make your heart carry the weight of what you can't see. There is a type of fat that's colorless, odorless, and quietly harms your heart every single day. Trans fat. It doesn't cause immediate pain, but it builds up silently, like the dust of time settling in a room no one cleans. After 60, the body is no longer as efficient at filtering out harmful fats. Trans fats not only raise bad cholesterol, LDL, but also lower good cholesterol, HDL, something few other fats can do. Your heart then has to beat harder, push more, just to keep your blood flowing steadily. In younger years, you might have eaten donuts, fries, margarine, part and parcel of modern life. But now each frosted pastry, each fried choice on the menu, is a quiet burden you're placing on your heart. Linda, a 67-year-old grandmother who used to enjoy cookies every morning, had to stop after her heart suddenly raced during a short walk around the park. The doctor didn't issue a grave warning, just a gentle reminder. If she wanted more years of playing with her grandchildren, she needed to clean up her kitchen. Your heart doesn't complain, but it does grow tired. Every time you eat trans fat, it's like forcing your heart to run a long distance, without ever giving it rest. Ask yourself, are you quietly making your heart struggle just because of a habit? Starting today, read labels more carefully. Choose baked over, fried, and let your kitchen become a place of renewal, not the corner where your heart quietly gives in. 2. Exercise regularly. Let your heart dance to its own rhythm. Something magical happens when you move. The heart doesn't weaken from fatigue. It grows stronger because it's being asked to do just enough. You don't need long runs or heavy lifting. Just a gentle walk that raises your heart rate to about 70% of its maximum is enough to burn fat and energize your body. After 60, exercise is no longer about maintaining your figure. It's about keeping your heartbeat steady, so you don't run out of breath when getting dressed or feel dizzy just from bending down to pick something up. When the heart gets to exercise, it becomes more flexible, more supple, and better able to handle strong emotions, even sorrow. Paul, 70, once spent his days lounging in a chair, thinking, "I'm old, I deserve to rest." But after a mild fainting episode in the bathroom, he started walking every afternoon with his grandchild. Not long after, he said, Now I don't walk to stay fit. I walk so my heart can feel joy. You don't need to push yourself. Just spend 30 minutes a day letting your heartbeat wake up. Let the sweat fall as a way of thanking your body for still being able to move, and your heart will reward you with calm, steady rhythms in return. 3. Sleep deeply, each night. When the heart gets to breathe slowly in silence. Did you know that your heart needs rest too? And the moment it recovers best is when you enter deep sleep? Not just when you close your eyes, but when your heart rate slows to 40-60 beats per minute. Your breathing becomes steady, and the world around you fades into dreams. After 60, many people complain they no longer sleep as soundly as before. Part of it is due to shifting hormones, part of it because the mind keeps racing even after the body has stopped. But it is in that deep sleep, when the heart is truly reborn. It no longer works over time, and the body has the chance to produce growth hormones that help it heal itself. Judith, a 74-year-old woman, used to wake up at 3 a.m. and always felt her heart pounding after nights like that. She thought it was just part of aging, until her daughter gave her a sleep tracker. Then she discovered she had never gotten even 30 minutes of deep sleep each night. From that moment on, she changed her habits. No late-night meals, lights off earlier, soft music instead of evening news. And something wonderful happened. Not only did her sleep improve, but her heart stopped sounding the alarm. If you've been wondering why you feel tired lately, try looking at your sleep first. Because sometimes, to protect your heart, you don't need to do anything at all. Just be still, close your eyes, and let your body heal itself. 4. Reduce stress. When the heart no longer has to bear the weight of unspoken emotions, no one escapes stress in life, not even at 60, 70, or beyond. But not everyone realizes that the heart is the first to suffer every time you feel anxious, angry, or alone. You can feel it clearly. Your heart races during an argument, your chest tightens after a sad phone call, or you feel a hollow ache when sitting alone late at night. The heart doesn't speak, but it listens to every emotion you bury deep inside. Many studies have shown, after losing a loved one, the risk of heart attack doubles or even triples within the first month. And in people with depression, the risk of heart disease nearly doubles. The heart is not just an organ. It is your most silent emotional companion. Paul, a 68-year-old widower, shared, "I thought I was fine, until I ended up in the hospital with irregular heartbeats. But the doctor didn't write a prescription. He just asked if I had someone to talk to each day." From that day, Paul began attending gentle yoga classes, learning deep breathing, and keeping a journal. His heart rate returned to normal, not because of medication, but because he learned how to have conversations with himself. If you feel like you're carrying too much, try slowing your breath. Call an old friend, take a morning walk, or simply sit by the window and listen to the birds. Don't wait for your heart to cry out before you choose to listen. 5. Manage diabetes and cholesterol, because small numbers can decide the fate of your heart. Not everyone likes getting their blood tested, but for those over 60, numbers like blood sugar and cholesterol aren't just medical data. They're warning signs your heart has been quietly sending you day after day. When blood sugar runs high or cholesterol builds up inside your arteries, your heart has to work harder to push blood through those narrow spaces. Over time, it gets worn out, and one day, even a light effort can make it freeze. Literally. Judith used to think she was just a little tired from age. That was until her doctor told her that her cholesterol was at 240 mmol/dl and her post-meal blood sugar was nearing 180. "But I don't eat that many sweets," she said, though she admitted that white bread, sausages, and late-night meals had become daily habits. Her changes weren't loud or dramatic: more vegetables, less greasy food, and a slow morning walk. After 3 months, her numbers returned to a safe range, and she began sleeping better, no longer feeling her heart race after climbing stairs. Your heart doesn't ask for much. It only needs blood vessels smooth and wide enough for steady flow. If you haven't had a health checkup in the past 6 months, consider this a gentle reminder from the quiet friend beating in your chest. 6. Quit smoking. A small act, but the greatest gift you'll ever give. Your heart. Some people once loved cigarettes like an old friend, a companion that stayed with them through stress, sadness, loneliness, or simply out of habit. But what few realize is this: that friend quietly stole away each peaceful heartbeat without ever saying goodbye. After 60, the body no longer repairs itself as quickly as before. Each cigarette causes blood vessels to constrict, narrows the arteries, and reduces the oxygen supply to the heart. Carbon monoxide from the smoke replaces oxygen in the blood, forcing the heart to beat faster and harder, just to do what used to be easy. Paul had been smoking since his youth. Every morning he'd light one up while making coffee, like a personal ritual. Until one afternoon he collapsed in his chair. The heart attack didn't take his life, but it took away his sense of safety. He quit smoking after that. Not easily, but not too late either. No one says you have to do it alone. You can start by cutting down one cigarette at a time, asking for support from your children or grandchildren, or simply swapping the cigarette for a warm cup of tea. Your heart will thank you, not because you were perfect, but because you tried for its sake. 7. Eat fish. When every bite can be a blessing for the heart. Not all foods are both delicious and healing. But fish, especially fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines, is one of nature's most precious gifts to the human heart. Fish contains omega-3 fatty acids, a compound known for reducing inflammation and softening blood vessels. For older adults, that means the heart no longer has to struggle against silent blockages or stiff aging arteries. Linda, a 66-year-old woman who lived alone after her husband passed away, never liked fish. She found it smelly, troublesome, and not nearly as comforting as her traditional braised meat. But after a cholesterol check and a gentle recommendation from her doctor, she gave it a try. A slice of grilled salmon for Sunday lunch. 1 week, then 2. By the 3rd month, she noticed something surprising. She slept better. Her skin glowed, and most of all, her heart no longer felt heavy after meals. Not everyone can afford to eat fish every day, but just 2 to 3 fish meals a week, or a small daily dose of high-quality fish oil, can build a quiet, lasting shield around your heart. Think of each meal not just as something to fill you up, but as something to help you live longer and more lightly. 8. Stay connected. Because the heart lives not only on blood, but on bonding. Here's something few people realize. A lonely heart hurts more than one that's shared. Science has shown that people with positive social relationships, even just brief daily conversations, have significantly lower risks of cardiovascular disease than those who live in isolation. It doesn't take crowds, nor excitement. Sometimes just a call to an old friend, a quiet coffee with a neighbor, or a gentle handhold from a loved one is enough to make the heart feel like it belongs. Judith spent a year without seeing anyone, just her TV and rice cooker for company. At night, she often couldn't sleep and sometimes felt her heart racing without knowing why. Then one holiday, her grandchild came to visit and sat beside her for an entire afternoon. That night, she slept soundly, for the first time in months. Not every relationship is easy to maintain, but you can always begin again by sending a message, inviting someone over for tea, or even just smiling at a passerby. Every connection is a thread that keeps your heart from drifting and helps it keep beating for something warmer, something that still matters. We've just walked through 8 small changes, but each one carries a quiet, lasting effect on the heart. No noise, no rush, but a long-term shield for the most vital place in your body. You may have once thought heart disease was inevitable, but now you know just eating a little differently, breathing more steadily each morning, or going to bed an hour earlier could save your heart thousands more beats. Nothing tires the heart more than neglect, and nothing strengthens it like care from its very own keeper. You don't have to do everything at once. Just start with the smallest thing, and start today. Because whether you're 60, 70, or beyond, it's never too late to care for your heart. Each change is a message that says, I still care about myself. Aging is not an ending. It's a pause that invites you to listen to your body and make peace with the parts you once overlooked. Your heart doesn't ask for perfection. It needs honesty and patience. If your heartbeat has ever raced in anger, try softening it with a smile. If you've felt tired after a sleepless night, give it the gift of deep rest. If you've eaten out, of habit, start choosing your food with love, not just convenience. Remember, living long isn't as important as living light, and a light life needs a healthy heart, physically and emotionally. You deserve to live with a heart that doesn't strain, a heart that rests, that's nourished, and that's heard. If something in this video touched you, leave a sign, comment, I'll start with, and share the first thing you want to change. And if you believe someone else needs to hear this, send the video their way, as a small gift, a quiet act of care. Don't forget to subscribe to Senior Compass, where each week we'll sit beside you, like an old friend, talking about the little things that go deep. Today, you listen to your heart. Let tomorrow be the day your heart listens back, and beats steady, beats slow, beats peacefully.